Hi everyone, welcome to Rituals Yoga. I'm Deborah, and this practice is one of our balance practices. This is really good to do when you're feeling a little bit lethargic or lazy or heavy or stuck. Sometimes we need to kind of push ourselves to get moving and motivated again. So in this practice, we're going to focus a little bit more on power and strength. So when you're ready, get your mat and let's begin. So we're going to start in a standing position. So just have your feet hip distance apart. Kind of close your eyes here for a moment. Always starting our practice, just coming to the body, coming to the breath. Taking a moment to notice how we feel and the different layers and levels of our being. So if you're doing this practice, chances are physically you're feeling a little bit lazy or sluggish, not as motivated, but maybe it's something completely different for you. Just notice how you feel in your physical body. Notice how you feel in your mind. Oftentimes there's a correlation between the body and the mind. When we feel not so productive physically, it's hard to feel productive mentally. And how do you feel in your emotions? Not needing to change anything, just checking in with where you're starting from. And then I want you to lift and spread your toes and really press the feet down into the mat underneath you and start to feel a strength in your standing. So here I want you to draw the quadriceps up towards your hips, lengthen your tailbone down, draw your low ribs in towards you, crown of the head reaches up, shoulders drop down, hands are nice and strong. Tadasana, mountain pose. So already just in standing, we're beginning to invite kind of a feeling of strength, of power. So see if you can engage every muscle in your body here in the simple pose of Tadasana, mountain pose. If your eyes are closed, you can begin to open them and just gaze somewhere right in front of you, holding a nice strong and steady gaze. And then bring your hands to prayer position. And inhale, we're going to move through a few sun salutations. I'll take the first one a little bit slower, and then we'll build a little bit more with the breath as you feel more comfortable with the movement. So inhale, reach your arms out overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, take your right foot back into a lunge. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward to plank. Now exhale, drop your knees to the floor and lower onto your belly. Elbows hug in towards the body. Using the muscles of your back, not pressing through your hands, lifting up into cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Good, inhale, your right foot comes between your hands. If it doesn't get there, take your ankle, guide it forward. Exhale, left to meet the right. Inhale, press down through the feet to lift all the way up to stand. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, folding down, this time on the left side. Inhale, left foot back into a lunge. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, forward to plank. Try not to let your belly sag below your hips. Exhale, knees to the floor, elbows in, lower onto your belly. One straight line with your body. Inhale, muscles of the low back engage, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left foot forward on your inhalation. Exhale, right to meet the left, fold. Inhale, rising up to stand. Exhale, hands to the heart. Good, right side again. Inhale, breathe in. Exhale, folding down. Find a strong dynamic breath. Inhale, right foot back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale to plank. Exhale, this time you can keep your knees lifted or grounded. Drop down to the floor. Inhale, come up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot forward between your hands. Exhale, left to meet the right. Inhale, all the way up to stand. Exhale, hands to the heart. Left side. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, lowering down. Stay strong with your breath. Inhale, left foot back. Exhale, right foot back. Inhale, forward to plank. Exhale, lower halfway or all the way down. Inhale, rise up. Either cobra or upward facing dog. So upward facing dog, your thighs are lifted off the floor, your heart is a little higher. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot between your hands. Exhale, left to meet the right. Inhale, all the way up to stand. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, folding down. Use your breath here. Inhale, left foot back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Always breathing through the nose. Inhale, plank. Exhale, either knees lifted or down, lower halfway. Inhale, up to your back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot forward. Exhale, right to meet the left. Inhale, rising up. And exhale, hands to the heart. Take a moment here in standing. Just allowing your breath to become stable, the mind to become centered. And we'll do a little bit more active variation of Surya Namaskar, sun salutations. Okay? So inhale, reach up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, step back into a plank. And exhale, lower halfway down. Knees are lifted or grounded. Inhale to your back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. 5 breaths here. So we're really spreading the fingers. Your heels are a little bit wider than your toes, so your inner thighs can spiral out and back behind you. You're feeling strong through your fingers, your hands, and really reaching through the hips. Stay connected to your breathing. I'm going to say that a lot. Good. Inhale, looking forward. And as you exhale, step both feet between your hands. Inhale, come up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, all the way to stand. Exhale, hands to the heart. Good. 2 more times of that. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step, or you can hop back to plank pose. Lower down, chaturanga dandasana, halfway to the floor. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog, 5 breaths. Again, each time you come back to your downward facing dog, coming back to your breathing, finding a strong and steady breath. We have a lot of control of the energy of our body. So when we're feeling tired, sometimes just bringing a strength and a fullness to the breath can help to re-energize us. So keep the breath strong. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, you can either step or hop your feet to the front of your mat. Inhale, arch up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, all the way to stand. Exhale, hands to the heart. 1 more. Inhale, reaching up. Folding down, exhale. Half lift, inhale. Step or hop back to plank, lower chaturanga. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe, 5 breaths. I'm not going to talk here because I want you to try to hear the sound of your breathing. In and out through the nose. Good. Inhale, look forward. And exhale, step or hop your feet to the front. Inhale, arch up. Fold, exhale. And inhale, come all the way back up to stand. And hands to the heart, exhale. Good. If you're not there, come to the front of your mat. Find your feet, again, right underneath you. Taking a moment just to center yourself after a lot of flow, a lot of movement. Preparing for some standing postures, hands come to the heart. Good, inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, your right foot back into a lunge. Good. Keeping that front leg nice and strong, press into your back heel, lift your fingertips off the floor. And you're really gonna start to feel a strength in your lower body. Keep the back of your neck long, breathe. Good, and then lift up, inhale. And exhale, you're gonna twist towards your left leg. Your arms are out to the side, and if you can, take your gaze over your left middle finger. Now we're literally working on balance. Breathe. Good, inhale, lift up, crescent pose. So bend your back knee here so that you can really let the chest open. This is called crescent pose because the back line of your body should look like a crescent moon. So we're actually opening up and back. Breathe, one more breath. Good, exhale, hands to the floor, breathe in. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, forward to plank. Exhale, lower halfway down. Your knees can be down on the ground if you need to. Inhale, up to your back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. One more, inhale. And exhale. Good, look forward, inhale. And just step your feet to the front of the mat. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift up. Exhale, release down. Step that left foot back into a lunge. Other side. So coming onto the fingertips, just hovering over the mat. Now the weight wants to move forward, but I want you to try to press the weight back into your back heel. Keep your heart and chest lifted. Say hello to your lower body. We get a lot of our power and strength from the lower body, so feel that here. Good, coming up, inhale. And exhale, twist open to the side, gazing over your right middle finger. Good, inhale, crescent pose, lifting up, opening the chest. And exhale, hands to the floor. Take a breath in. Exhale, left foot to meet the right, all the way to stand. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Take a moment here. Then bring your feet touching each other, and you're gonna sit down into your hips and your heels. You're gonna lift your arms up next to your ears. Especially when we feel lazy, we tend to love this pose. Utkatasana, chair pose. I'm gonna hold this a little bit longer than feels comfortable. So stay with me, we're in this together. You can hear I'm also breathing pretty hard. So we're working, you're not alone. Sit a little lower, lift your heart, 2 more breaths. You got this. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, fold forward. Spread your feet a little bit. Take the arms back behind you, interlace your fingers. First, try to touch the ceiling with your knuckles, opening the chest, and then take the arms forward. Breathe. Good, slowly release that. Take the right foot back into a lunge. Ground your back heel, and you're gonna come all the way up to warrior 2. Gazing over your left middle finger. Drop the shoulders down. Find the steadiness of your breath and a steadiness through your gaze. Good, straighten your front leg. Bring your hands to your hips. Shorten your stance just a little bit. Reach forward, come all the way to the front, and then coming into Trikonasana, triangle pose. Gazing up at your right thumb. Good. Bringing that right hand down and forward, and then up with your left hand, bend the front knee, and you're in warrior one. Your hips are facing the front. Try to square, even if you have to shift your back right foot, try to get your hips square. And then straighten that front leg. Shorten your stance a little bit. Your heels are in one line. You're gonna hold onto your elbows back behind you. You're gonna inhale and lift, and exhale, fold forward. Good, if this feels hard, you can always just hold your hand at the front of your thigh. Breathe. Bend your front knee, slowly come back up. Step the right foot to meet the left. Inhale, lifting. Folding, exhale. Big step with your left foot back into a lunge. Ground the back heel and windmill the arms up. Warrior two, gazing over your front middle finger. Find a really strong pose here. What does this pose evoke for you? How does it feel? Just notice. Straighten your front leg, shorten your stance a little bit, reach to the front of the room, take triangle pose, Trikonasana. Good, then you're gonna sweep that left hand to the back of your mat, down and up with your right hand. Change the angle of your back heel so that your heels are in line, your hips are square to the front of the mat. And come into Virabhadrasana 1, warrior one. Breathe. Good, hands come down. Step the left foot to meet the right, hands to the heart. Take a moment. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, lowering down. Right foot back into a lunge. You're gonna find your warrior two position. Then you're gonna come directly into triangle, shortening the stance, moving down. Now from here, I wanna invite you to hold triangle pose if you're still new to the practice. If you have a little bit more of a developed practice, you can move into half moon, Ardha Chandrasana with me. So you're gonna make a claw with your left hand, thumb in line with the pinky toe. You're gonna press off your back foot, and you're gonna open the hips up as much as you can to the side. Engage the outside of your right thigh. Breathe. If you're in half moon, bend the front leg, drop back into triangle. Hopefully you do it gracefully. Usually it's not. And slowly coming back up. And then step your right foot to meet the left, hands to the heart. Breathe. I told you this was a practice of power, right? So slowly step actually inhale first, up. Fold, exhale. Left foot back. Find your warrior two. We have two sides. We always have to repeat. Straighten the front leg, shorten the stance, reach forward, triangle. Now, if whatever you did on the other side, you're committed here. So if you held triangle on the other side, hold triangle. Otherwise, make a claw with your right hand, press off of your back foot, and slowly open up to the side. Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. And then gracefully, or not, drop back into triangle pose. If you need to adjust when you get back, feel free coming back into triangle. Good, and then coming up here, facing the front of your mat, warrior one. Good, really strong through that front foot, press into the back heel, lift the heart. Good, and then straighten the front leg. Opposite elbow in front this time, so it's probably your awkward arm. Step that back foot in, heels are in one line. Inhale, lift, and exhale, lower into a fold. You might stop here, and that's totally fine. Otherwise, as the pose opens over time, you can slowly lower down. Always honoring whatever phase you're in with your body. Even though this is a practice of strength or power, it doesn't mean we push ourselves to a place of depletion, because then we're creating the opposite problem. We go back to being tired. Good. Slowly micro-bend your front knee and come all the way back up. Step the left foot forward, hands to the heart. Inhale, let's flow it out. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step or hop the feet back. Lower chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe, 5 breaths. Good, that's about 3 breaths. 2 more. Good, inhale that right foot up and back behind you. And exhale, come forward to plank and try to kiss your knee, pulling the knee in. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, drawing in. 1 more inhale out. Exhale, step that right foot to the outside of your right hand and take the palms to the floor and hold, drop the back knee, holding a low lunge. So you can hold here or you can come onto your elbows. Breathe. If you're on your elbows, try not to let the hip go out too much, pulling the leg in to the center line of the body. Good, slowly coming up, sitting all the way back onto your heel. So you're actually gonna feel the heel in contact with your bum underneath you. So you're gonna lift up and you're gonna lower down here into a stretch over the hamstring. Again, not pulling or forcing the body into any stretch. Finding length as you lower and being patient. Over time, the poses will unfold, but if we force, we can induce injury or put the body into a place of resistance or clenching. So in yoga, you always want to keep a space of openness inside of your body. So anytime you feel your body clenching or closing down, come out of the pose slightly and breathe. Good. Coming back to your low lunge. Inhale, turn the back toes under. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, that left foot up behind you. Exhale, that foot forward, try to kiss the knee. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, pulling in. Inhale, lifting. And exhale, pulling in and stepping that foot to the outside of your foot. Drop the back knee, hands to the inside. Breathe. If you did it on the other side, come onto your elbows. Good. Pulling the knee into the center line of your body. Good, and then slowly back up. Come sitting all the way back onto that right heel. Lift your heart and fold forward. Good. When we move slowly into a posture, it induces awareness. We start to feel more into our body. And as I said before, it prevents injury. So being really easy, but finding that stretch that feels really good. Good. Coming back up. Turn the back toes under, lift the back knee, inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. So we're gonna come into plank pose. We're gonna hold here for a few breaths. So if you need to, please drop your knees to the floor. It doesn't matter if your knees are down or if they're lifted. What matters is there's a straight line with your body. So resist the temptation to let the belly drop down. Instead, if you need support, think about raising the belly up. And we're gonna breathe here, maybe even smiling a little bit. Repeating after me, I love you, Deborah. Yes, I know. Holding here. If you want more, because this isn't enough, yeah, right, draw the hands isometrically towards your toes and the toes isometrically towards your hands. Oh yeah. Hello. Breathe. We're going to be here for 2 more breaths. Really long breaths. Good, and then drop your knees to the floor and slowly come all the way down onto your belly. Inhale up into a cobra position, coming up onto your forearms, holding here, interlace your fingers, draw your elbows together, and we're gonna move into dolphin. So from here, you're gonna lift your hips up and you're gonna walk your feet forward as if you're in a downward facing dog. And then you're gonna press your chest as far towards the front of the thighs as you can. And breathe. Now hold here. Again, if you want more, you can slowly bring your head above your hands. Inhale. Exhale, press back. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, press back. Oh yeah, one more. Inhale, forward. And exhale, back. Drop the knees to the floor. Come into child's pose. Your knees are wide, your toes are touching, and your hands are resting down on the mat. Let your elbows go. Forehead to the floor. Notice here how you feel in your body. This is an active recovery, so you're not letting go of all of the energy of your practice just yet. We're not quite done, but you're allowing yourself a moment of rest in between the work. So breathe. And then slowly come sitting up onto your heels. You're going to swing the legs around. And you're going to come laying down on your back. So we're going to do just one bridge pose here. And then we're going to move into shoulder stand to finish the practice. So see if you can reach down and touch your heels. Lift your hips up. And then you're going to shimmy your shoulders left and right so they draw underneath you. And you want to interlace your fingers. Good. Pushing into the heels to lift your hips. Bridge pose. And slowly lower down. Take your time. Take a moment here. Your feet are mat distance apart. Just windshield wiper your legs, left and right. And then hug the knees in towards the chest. Good. So for the final part of our practice, we're going to come into shoulder stand. I'm going to give 2 variations. One is a half shoulder stand and one is the full posture. So if you're not familiar with this pose, start with half shoulder stand. And if you're familiar with the pose, go ahead and come into the full posture. So first, half shoulder stand. You kick your legs back and you hold on to your hips and you're in a pike position. You stay here. This is usually accessible for everyone. If even this is hard, have your back on the floor, your legs are lifted. You still get the benefit of the inversion. You want to come into the full posture. You touch your toes to the floor and really, again, like we did in bridge, draw your shoulders underneath you. And then slowly lifting up onto the top of your shoulders. Breathe. Gazing towards your toes. We'll be here for another 3 or 4 breaths. And slowly taking your feet back behind you and rolling down, supporting your hips, no matter which posture you're in, as you've lowered to the floor. Once you get to your feet parallel to the ceiling, just holding here, letting the hands come down to the floor, feeling a strength through your lower back, rounding down. And then bend your knees, pull them into your chest. Go ahead and rock a little bit side to side. Beautiful work. Sometimes the hardest part of re-energizing or bringing motivation into our body or into our practice is just starting. Once we start, we remember why we liked this in the first place, what we're needing from the practice. Slowly let your legs come down into shavasana, our final resting pose. So letting your arms be out wide, let your legs just kind of melt out to the side. One of my teachers said this is the closest we become to a human being. Often in our lives we're more of a human doing. So we allow ourselves to just rest and be here before we move into whatever is next. Consciously relaxing the body. This is the time when all the hard work that you just did is integrated into the different layers of your being, your body, your mind. So relax your jaw, your tongue, and your eyes. And let your body just kind of soak down into the mat like rain. So you can stay here for as long as you'd like, or as long as your time permits. I would definitely encourage just at least a minute or two. Traditionally, shavasana is done for 8 minutes. But when you're ready, stay where you are for a minute or two. And nice job. Way to get yourself going and moving again. This practice is always available to you when you need to bring balance back into your life. When you've swung out of balance by becoming a little bit lethargic and stuck. Sometimes we just need to push ourselves again to get moving. And the benefits are there for you to experience yourself. So namaste. Thanks for practicing.